Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett on News 6 Plus and ClickOrlando.com. I'm Bridgett Ellison. We made it to Friday. Going to be a pretty decent day. Hold on to the coats, the hats, the umbrellas for these next few days. But we have quite the roller coaster ahead of us. And Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is in the Pinpoint Weather Center getting us ready. And you joked this morning, Candace, that we need to be ready to take a quiz after this. There's a pop quiz because there's a lot
Take notes
to remember.
Yeah, I mean, really, we do need to start taking some notes because every day the weather brings something new, something different. And then things get kind of interesting. And I use the word interesting kind of,
Okay.
tongue in cheek here. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of chatter going on about winter weather in Florida. Will it snow? Will it sleet? Will it freeze? Will it rain? We've got a little mix, something kind of interesting to talk about towards the middle part of the next work week. But yeah, take notes, everyone. Grab your pen and paper. Here we go. All right, this is what you can expect as you are heading out the door right now. We're in those 40s, 30s, a few 50s right now. I'll show you where in just a second. But throughout the rest of the day, the sunshine will return a little more this afternoon. Not clear blue skies, but we will see kind of partly cloudy skies. Now, the rain, that will start to increase on Sunday. Before we get that cold front in, though, it will be warm on Saturday. So nice today, warm, upper 70s on Saturday. Good chance for rain on Sunday, and then dropping about 20 degrees on Monday. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is on Monday. Many folks having the long holiday weekend, and every day this weekend will be very different than the next. But we are going to be keeping a really close eye on the cold and rain mix that could be happening next week. So again, look at the temperatures. What a spread. This is a perfect presentation of how much cloud cover can really impact your weather. So right now we have no clouds in areas of Ocala, the Villages, Palm Coast. That is allowing those temperatures to drop into those 30s. But where the cloud cover is still stuck across Kissimmee and Melbourne and Cape Canaveral, we're in those 50s. So we're talking about 35 to 55 degrees spread here. We're talking almost we are talking about a 20 degree temperature difference between our friends to the north and our friends to the south. So today's highs, though, we will all become a little more uniform into the afternoon today in those mid to upper 60s in the forecast. So I'm going to show you here, clouds and rain forecast. The clouds will creep back into the area later on tonight, all ahead of a warm front. And that warm front will be bringing some light misty rain primarily throughout the overnight. And that's the reason why temperatures tonight are really not going to drop much. Then most of your Saturday, we're good to go. Nice and dry. But as we head into Sunday morning around 9 a.m., that is where we will start to see the moisture start sliding in along that pretty strong, pretty wet front. It will move into parts of Central Florida by about the lunchtime hour, and then finally clearing out later into the day on Sunday. Notice your rain chances. We're up to about an 80 to 90%. Not today, not Saturday, but Sunday. That is where our best chance for rain will come. Could rack up about an inch of rain when it's all said and done, which at the end, we do need the rain. And as long as we don't get anything severe, I think it really will be beneficial. Just unfortunately, I know everyone has Sunday plans, and that's not going to help if there's anything outdoors scheduled for Sunday. Then as the front finally clears, cold air is going to blast into the area on Monday, which, by the way, the rest of the country, Bridgett, is going to be dealing with even colder temperatures than that high of 53. Marion County, we could actually be staying in the 40s on Monday. And that cold air is all associated with the cold air that will be impacting folks who are going for the inauguration. Also on Monday, could be the coldest inauguration we've seen in about 40 years. I know.
Ooh.
So this is the temperature anomaly. This is showing the yellows and oranges showing above average. That's where we will be on Saturday and Sunday. But look at the purples. Well below average across pretty much the entire country. And that is going to set up for Tuesday and Wednesday as well. But this is where things get interesting, Bridgett. We're going to also be tracking some moisture that will kind of surge up from the south. So how will these two air masses play? We all know from science class that if we get rain with freezing temperatures, could we get winter precipitation. Could that come in sleet? Could that come in snow? Could that come in freezing rain? That's all a possibility, not for us here in Central Florida, but more as far south, let's say, as I-10 in North Florida. So this is scenario one. The Arctic air stays to the north, and for us, it'll be cool, but kind of rainy. If that Arctic air pushes far south enough, we get enough of those freezing temperatures, and then the rain seeps in, could we see some wintry weather? This is what the Euro is showing right now. It shows sleet as far south as about I-10 in the forecast. And we are going to continue to see those scattered showers further south. So again, we are not going to be dealing with the wintry weather, but you've probably been seeing this graphic on social media. This is the probability of 1 inch of snow. There's a chance in Tallahassee. There's a decent chance. Jacksonville, there's about a 12% chance, down to about a 1, maybe 2% chance of it happening in Ocala. So with that being said, it's unlikely, but there is a chance. So that's kind of just fun to talk about. Something we, of course, are going to be watching. Could we be seeing a little bit of freezing rain as far south as Gainesville? There could be, but we'll have to wait and see, which is why the winter whiplash will continue throughout the next few days.
I don't know where to start with all that. That is a lot.
You don't. You just take it day by day. That's all you can do.
And just keep checking the app. Just keep watching News 6 just to touch base.
Yes, and models will fluctuate a bit, but they've certainly been trending. One thing for sure, it's going to be a wet Sunday and a very, very cold Monday.
I hope North Florida is ready though for anything.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know. We'll see.
That could bring things to a standstill there. Even though it's a minimal chance, but
right. Is like, if you are driving on I-10 and there's freezing rain, what could it look like? I'm not sure.
We're going to ask Trooper Steve.
Let's go. Let's take it to Steve.
Now let's turn to Steve. Is he there? Is he there yet? There he is. Oh yes, he's there.
Yes,
all right,
I'm here.
Candace. Can you believe this?
No, I cannot believe this. And I can tell you right now, troopers are going to want to park those cars if the second they see snow. There's a reason the Florida Highway Patrol has an orange on the patch and not like Alaska bears and stuff like that. My goodness, that is crazy. But to your point, I think it'll just keep people inside. Just
Hopefully.
The weather report alone. They're like, I'm not going outside Sunday and Monday.
I mean,
and
we
that's
already,
what they should.
it's
They
so
should
hard to
stay
just
home.
drive in rain in Florida. So,
It's hard to drive in Florida, period. We've proven that one. It's a mess.
yeah.
But today on a Friday, Friday we always have the energy. Friday we're always doing something. So right now I am. Hold on one second. I got somebody back over here. So right now the roadway's not too bad this morning. If we take it straight to the map, it's Friday. Things are looking good out here. So all we're seeing is those routine delays, those delays that are kind of over in the attractions area. But even our drive times across Central Florida still sitting in the green. I'm talking 528, wherever you're coming from, looking good this morning. The airport also up to speed east and westbound, Azalea Park, University, and then 441. Big road all the way up through Orange County, checking out nicely this morning. And then DOT cam along I-4. We're up to a pretty decent start. No heavy slowdowns out there, Bridgett. So we're keeping it simple today. I am going to be talking about roadway safety and the rules of the road with bicycles in the travel lane. So what rules you think you're supposed to follow, but I'm going to tell you what rules you actually are supposed to follow. So that's today, 10 a.m. at clickorlando.com.
All right. Well, we'll see you then. I'm curious as to what you're up to. So, yeah. Okay. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you in a second. Bye.
Oh, okay. Bye. Okay, we do want to get to some of the top stories this morning as well. We're headed into a busy weekend downtown. Of course, we have a holiday weekend. We're celebrating Lunar New Year, the King holiday, so lots of events happening around there. And there are some changes expected with the nightlife situation there. We've been reporting on this for months now, and so in a matter of hours, some big changes will be put into place to improve safety. Starting tonight, barriers to keep people who are enjoying the nightlife out on the streets. They want to keep them off the streets, so those barriers will keep them, in the sidewalk areas, and that's expanding to cover a larger area now. News 6's Mark Lehman will explain how those changes will look for you if you're going to go downtown.
It's the next phase in Orlando's plan to improve safety downtown. Starting tonight, crews are expanding barricade installations. They've been in place along Orange Avenue since November. Now center lane barricades are coming to Central Boulevard and Pine Street.
We're really trying to just show visually and physically that area is no longer available for traditional pedestrian travel like it has been for a number of years in downtown.
The measures come as Orlando has blamed downtown's street party atmosphere as a factor in several late-night shootings over the years, including the mass shooting on Halloween night. The city also says they've taken into account the New Year's attack in New Orleans.
We want to make sure we're monitoring the situation continuously, not only here in downtown, but also what's happening nationwide and worldwide.
All of the changes are designed to keep people out of the streets and on sidewalks while also maintaining access to downtown businesses. The ultimate goal is to eventually reopen traffic on Orange Avenue during weekend nights.
We're hopeful that when we ultimately are able to reopen the roads, that process will yield a safe environment as well as a vibrant environment for all who want to come downtown.
And now to a follow-up on big new developments when it comes to a holiday drone show mishap at Lake Eola that severely hurt a young boy. The NTSB's report is now out. It's preliminary details that have been released. But News 6's Troy Campbell shows us that there were problems that have been revealed that were happening before the show even started.
This is the exact spot where 500 drones were lined up on the evening of December 21st. For the first time, we're learning from a preliminary investigative report from the NTSB that several of those drones weren't responding properly just moments before the show. In fact, 5 of those drones are still believed to be lost here inside Lake Eola. Several weeks after multiple drones collided during a holiday light show at Lake Eola, the National Transportation Safety Board has released its preliminary investigative report, stating after interviewing the remote pilot in command of the drones moments prior to the show, quote, about 5 aircraft were not accepting the launch data. Then after troubleshooting a Wi-Fi connection, all 500 aircraft were located on the network about 5 minutes before showtime. However, after a quick reboot, all systems showed green except for the systems on 2 aircraft who were removed from the show. That's when the NTSB report states the show's layers did not lift uniformly, and goes on to say the final flight path caused several of the drones to collide. The family of a 7-year-old boy says he was severely injured and had to undergo surgery after being struck by one of the drones. The report states the drone's collision wasn't enough to stop the show, after the remote pilot in command determined that the safest course of action for the audience and aircraft was to let the show proceed. The NTSB says Sky Elements has agreed going forward to give themselves more time for planning on site before any of these drone shows. They also plan to give their pilots more training, and they say they'll have a second person who can step in and verify all safety precautions have been taken. At Lake Eola, Troy Campbell, Getting Results, News 6.
We're following the latest space headlines again this morning, and today it's SpaceX, and it was not the outcome they were hoping for out in Texas with their massive Starship rocket. The launch seemed to get off to a good start, but there were problems about 8 minutes in, and debris started to rain down over Turks and Caicos. The data had stopped coming in. The FAA had to suspend flights around that area, but you can see quite a scary sight there for folks around Turks and Caicos yesterday when that debris started to come down. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk later said that he believed a fuel leak was to blame for the rocket exploding there 8 minutes into liftoff. But the mission did have some success. The heavy booster there made a successful landing back to the mechanical chopsticks on the launch pad. Always so out of this world to see that work. But Musk says he expects the next test flight to go on as scheduled next month. We'll follow along. This morning, the U.S. Supreme Court could issue an opinion on the future of TikTok. It's what we've been following all week long. The popular app, of course, facing that deadline coming up on the 19th to basically back out of app stores unless the Chinese company that owns it is able to sell, and then it's able to stay in the United States. Amy Kiley explains these latest developments and why some possible relief might be too little too late.
They were all for it until they were against it.
A brief delay in implementation of the TikTok ban set for Sunday might be possible, but it looks like last-ditch efforts to stop it have failed. The White House says President Joe Biden will leave implementation up to the Trump administration. Inauguration Day is Monday, so that could postpone enforcement by 1 day. President-elect Donald Trump says he wants to review the ban. That doesn't mean he can unilaterally override the law Congress passed.
Not enforcing it doesn't work. An executive order doesn't work.
A bill from some Senate Democrats to postpone the ban appears dead. Critics point out that party controlled the chamber 10 months ago. That's when it passed the legislation containing the ban on TikTok.
We look ridiculous, and I'm certain the Chinese government is laughing at us.
I don't get it. 80% of the Congress, Democrats and Republicans, agreed that TikTok is a huge national security concern.
TikTok's parent company could stop the ban by selling the app to a non-Chinese owner. Sale negotiations would allow Biden to impose a 90-day delay. But the White House says his hands are tied.
A sale of TikTok between now and Sunday is virtually impossible because, among other things, the Chinese government has said they don't intend to approve a sale that quickly.
Amy Kiley, Getting Results, News 6.
So this is an interesting story. We'll keep following it for you. Definitely will set some precedents moving forward. We're taking a quick break. We'll be back with more news for you. Keep it here. Are just 3 days away from Inauguration Day, President-elect Donald Trump's second inauguration. As we've been reporting, several Central Florida ties coming up on this weekend, this inaugural weekend. News 6 anchor Matt Austin will be in D.C. bringing you reports from there as we're covering this historic event. And so right now he wants to tell us about how it's more than a one-day affair.
By car, bus, and air, people from across Central Florida are headed to D.C.
I'm super excited to be a part of history.
Orange County School Board member Alicia Ferrant and County GOP Chair Aaron Huntley are going with their families.
Florida is really the beacon of freedom for the country, and we are looking forward to bringing some of that freedom up to Washington, D.C.
The weekend festivities begin with a reception and fireworks Saturday night at Trump's golf course in Sterling, Virginia. Sunday morning, the president-elect will lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery. Then a rally at the Capital One Arena in Washington. Inauguration Day, he'll attend services at St. John's Church in Lafayette Square. Then tea at the White House.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
The swearing in at the Capitol building happens at noon, followed by the inauguration parade down Pennsylvania Avenue. So the night will end with 3 inaugural balls in D.C., the Commander-in-Chief Ball, the Liberty Inaugural Ball, and the Starlight Ball. The new president plans to attend all three. In studio, I'm News 6 anchor Matt Austin, getting results.
So we're definitely looking forward to Matt's reports. They start Sunday night at 11 right here on WKMG and News 6 Plus. So you'll want to look out for those. Hopefully all the Floridians who are headed up there are packing the hand warmers and the foot warmers and some tights and coats to handle what Candace just said could be one of the coldest inaugural weekends on record. So we'll watch and see what happens with those temperatures as well. But hopefully everyone has a safe trip out there and tries to stay warm as best they can. In a matter of days, the Orange County Public Library will be kicking off a new series of classes. And get this, it's for kids, teaching them about finances, but the age group can't even read and write yet. So News 6 producer Robert Brewer spoke to the manager of the South Creek branch about these new classes.
Thinking money for kids.
Library manager Zuli Escobar is checking out her newest educational tool.
Comes with money.
Her South Creek branch is one of 300 public libraries around the country to receive a Thinking Money for Kids program kit.
These are basically the props that we use during the game.
The kit comes with a set of 5 games designed to teach financial basics to kids aged 3 through 12.
Children in those age ranges are very open to trying new things. They're very interested in the concepts and they like to participate, so that's why doing it as a game makes it a lot easier.
This is one of the games here.
Correct. It's called Pet Sense.
Pet Sense, what's that all about?
Well, Pet Sense is about pet ownership and you making those financial decisions for the pet. Should I hire someone or should I do the decorations myself?
Escobar, who has a degree in economics, says making money decisions plays a big role in a child's financial education.
We want them to be empowered to make those decisions and to learn the basic concepts of financial literacy. Earning, saving, spending, giving, and that's the basics.
Escobar wants parents to reinforce those basics at home.
You go to the supermarket, right? And you're handing money or a card to the cashier. Like, talk to your children about that.
In Orange County, Robert Brewer, getting results, News 6.
That's fantastic. And so they also have some classes planned for Hiawassee branch. For a full look at what's happening with the Orange County Library classes and all their offerings, head to clickorlando.com. Look for this story. We have linked it for you. But so many great resources. And where would we be if there were financial classes for pre-K back when all of us were kids? But that's awesome. Now we want to tell you about the latest contest. News 6 anchor and insider guy Crystal Moyer recaps our current contest. We're giving insiders more chances to get some cool prizes and get the scoop on several big events.
New year, new contest. It's one of the perks of being a News 6 insider. Our first contest will have your heart racing. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Rolex 24 at the Daytona International Speedway, taking place later on this month. It's a 24-hour endurance race with nonstop action, testing the limits for both the drivers and their speed machines. You can enter this contest at clickorlando.com/insider now through January 21st, and we're picking 4 winners for this one. We're taking you from the track to the green with our next contest. You can enter to win 2 tickets to the 4-day Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. That's at Lake Nona Golf and Country Club. This tournament brings together professional golfers with celebrity guests for the 4-day event at the end of the month. To enter, just fill out this form at the bottom of the article on clickorlando.com/insider. You can enter as many times as you'd like for more chances to win. If you're not already an insider, it is free to sign up and only takes a moment. You could find out more about our contests, exclusive content, and other insider perks at clickorlando.com/insider. Did I mention it's all free? From the studio, Crystal Moyer, getting results, News 6.
All righty. And like she said, it is free. There's so many great resources on there, and also including Consumer Reports information. So anytime Consumer Reports has put out the latest info on cars or maybe even like which types of vacuums, usually that's something you have to pay for. But when you sign up to be an insider, you're getting access to a lot of great content like that, as well as those behind the scenes things that are happening here at News 6 and the contests, which are always free to enter as well. So might as well sign up and do that. While you're at it, head over to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad and tell us about Ormond Beach. This is one of my favorite beaches. Maybe you live there. Maybe you love it too. Tell us about the stories that you want us to cover in Ormond Beach, because that's where we're hitting the road next. We'll be doing our afternoon and evening newscast live from Ormond Beach very soon, and we want to know about the people, places, and things we should be covering, issues that you need us to help shed light on. So go to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad and tell us about the Ormond Beach stories that you want News 6 to cover. And we hope to see you there. We'll have more details on where we'll be and when coming up very soon. So keep it tuned here. That's going to do it for this Friday edition of Breakfast with Bridget. We'll be back on Monday for the holiday, and we hope that you have a great weekend and stay safe and stay warm, stay prepared. Pay attention to the weather. Take care.